So how do we get from this?
The results of Ms. Heard's evaluation supported 2 diagnoses: borderline personality disorder and histrionic personality disorder.
To this?
Was human fecal matter.
Well, let me explain. Hey guys, it's Daniel, licensed therapist. So if you have paid attention at all to the glorious Johnny Depp trial, you have undoubtedly heard of the juicy highlight, which is Amber Heard taking a poop on his bed. Everyone was probably wondering what in the world would possess a person to do something like that. Well, that's why your guy, me, is here to help you make sense of this stinky situation. But in order to do that, we're going to have to understand the 2 diagnoses mentioned by Johnny's psychologist. And the 2 she mentions are doozies. So in the video I did on Taylor Swift, that was a good vignette of what borderline personality disorder looks like. So if you haven't seen it, go check that out. But we know that the one thing that really marks borderline is fear of abandonment. You see, people can have all different kinds of views on the same thing. Money, for example. One person can view money as status, another power, another material things, another security. And this applies here to relationships. And, I assume that when people think of relationships, in their mind, it's somewhat of a mixed bag, but there is generally one dominant belief. Are relationships the best thing ever? Is it the hardest thing ever? Are they fulfilling? Are they scary? When it comes to people with borderline, relationship is the worst pain they can ever feel ever. And that's based on their experiences. The abandonment is coming, and so we have to fight very hard to prevent that from happening. So with this in mind, we can see what led up to all of this crap.
She was still rattling off all the wrongs I'd done to her in that particular day, and how unreliable I am, and what a horrible person I was, and I did not engage verbally, nothing. I sat there or laid there, reading my book, and when she didn't get a jump out of me or a jolt out of me, she got out of bed, she walked around the bed, she came to my side, and again, you've got a person who is throwing multiple shots at your face, at your head, at your neck, at anything she could hit. So I got up out of bed, and I grabbed her by the shoulders, and I sat her down on the bed. And I said, I'm leaving. Please don't get off the bed. Please don't follow me. Please don't try and stop me. I'm leaving. And she got up off the bed, and she squared off at me in the doorway of our bedroom. And I said, what do you want to do? Hit me again? Would you like to hit me again? And I said, go ahead, hit me. Bam. And then I just said, is that what you wanted? Would you like another? Bam. There's the second one. And I said, good, now you're done. Grabbed her by the shoulders, walked her to the bed, sat her down, and said, don't follow me. Leave me alone. I'm out. I'm gone. I went, I grabbed a few things, and I got out immediately, and I went to my other house on Sweetser.
Must be nice to have another house, huh? But you know what doesn't sound nice? Being in a relationship with Amber Heard. Anyway, we see how this fight is escalating. At first, she is verbally assaulting him with what I am sure is the worst, most vile things she can think of, but to no avail. She's not able to suck him into a shouting match, and she can see the abandonment on the horizon. Somewhere in her mind, she's thinking, man, if she could just get him angry, he will at least interact, shout back, fight back, and he will stay. So she is fighting desperately to avoid the abandonment, and her words are not working, so naturally she has to escalate it and get physical. So she starts physically assaulting him. Now let's check out clip number 2.
It was a photograph of the bed, our bed, and on my side of the bed was human fecal matter. So I understood why it wasn't a good time to go down there. My initial response to that was, I laughed. It was so outside. It was so bizarre and so grotesque that I could only laugh.
And we all laughed with you, Johnny. Yes, it was bizarre and grotesque, but I believe we can understand and connect the dots within Amber's mind that results in a turd on a bed. But that takes understanding this one thing about borderline people. I used to work with a psychologist who did a lot of work and research with those suffering with borderline, and he told me this: people with borderline are emotionally arrested at the age of around 6. So even though they physically and intellectually look like an adult, they are an emotional child. And what is one thing 6-year-olds do that give them the most power? Throw a tantrum. So essentially that is what Amber is doing. She is tantruming in response to the threat of abandonment. It went from words to punching, and Johnny wasn't having any of it. So what's next? Some people destroy cars. Some burn clothes. Some will cook your pet. I guess Amber's preferred method is to drop a load onto Johnny's place of rest. But let's remember, guys, this is not a calm, calculated decision she's making. Let's have some empathy for her. She is an emotional child operating off of some very intense fear, which is overwhelming her ability to cope, resulting in her producing a gigantic log on his sheets. And guys, she's just been slaughtered in the media and in the court of public opinion, but I feel bad for her. She's just looking for love and doesn't want to be abandoned. She is such a talented actress, and now her career is pretty much done. What a waste. All right, guys, if you have any other clips or topics you would like me to react to, please leave in the comments down there. Thanks for watching, you wonderful human being. See you next time.